Hello everyone and welcome to a beautiful and clear Saturday night here at the Richmond Raceway for the Crown Rail Truck Series AAA 300 tonight on the NBCSN network. Starting on pole is Aiden Burkhart, but starting second, the legend of Richmond Raceway, Jefferson. This 48 team has won both of the Richmond races before. Back in season number 1 in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, he won the 4th race of the season. That was this race, and that was his first career win. And he got his second career win here last season in the Crown Rail Truck Series race here. Now he's looking for a three-peat. He won a few weeks ago, I should say, in Chicagoland, and Jay is now starting second. Brady Burkhart 13 points behind Diego Yepes in the standings after Chicagoland. He starts third, and alongside him, Peter Onjak, one of the drivers in a must-win scenario at this point to make the chase. It'll be a long shot if he doesn't in on points, but a win could lock him in as long as he stays in that top 20, which he is solidly in for right now. In 5th, Larry Hagan has Chick-fil-A, Napa Auto Parts jumping on with Outside Line Sim Racing this season. And Larry Hagan, from the move from Jones Racing Inc., he's been on 4 different teams in his career. 3 of them this season, on Giotto and some Mountain Dew Custom Series races. JRI for most of the season, and now he moves to Outside Line Sim Racing. He was on SSC Automotive last season, as well as driving a handful of starts in Mountain Dew Custom Series for a backmarket team. Right now, the 34 team, they're looking for something good out of this weekend, as it is the only Outside Line Sim Racing car in the field in either race, as well as Golden Motorsports. That entire alliance, almost everyone failed to qualify. In 6th, Ryan Butcher for his Gatorade number 16, announcing that he will not be returning to Butcher Gatorade Motorsports next season, looking for a new opportunity for that team. Jacob Edson will start in 7th. Alexander Rowe, rumored to be retiring at the end of the season. Fallout Racing's number 63 starting up in 8th. And Blake Murray starts 9th with the new number 3, Colton Lane. He will be driving this truck a couple races this season. He will start in 10th. But as we go back, let's see if we can get a good camera angle of trucks here. There's Gatlin Downey. Kev Shearer puts the Impala Racing number 07. He's up in 14th, making his second start of the season. You got DJ Gibson. There is Yepes starting in the back. Camden Luca. There is Bob Helipad. He will be driving for Fallout Racing a couple races this season in a second truck that they have for the season. There's Brandon Morris. Alex Kraft not returning to Sauber most likely. Tim Foster and Jose Perez as well. There's Casey Mears making his first on-auto start in trucks this season. Mike Cook finally making a race. Zachary DeLello, 3rd in points. He's starting 31st. He's going to have a big uphill climb for him. And in the back, Nathan Stapleton, Matty Porta, Kalen Nosler, who's been a journeyman so far, and Matthew Eves in that Pro Court 83. But Aiden Burkhart trying to take home a victory this season. Jay Jefferson alongside of him. Be sure to watch Jay tear his way through the field today. He is a great driver at Richmond, his favorite track on the schedule, and the only track he won at until last week at Chicagoland. The Season 1 runner-up to the championship, looking for this season to put himself on the map for a championship. We'll see what'll happen here in just a few seconds. We're going down trackside for the commands.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for all 20 truck races this season that goes to the fastest qualifier of each of those races. This week it was Aiden Burkhart for Shade Burkhart Racing getting their first pole of the season. Aiden looking to put this truck onto the victory lane later tonight here at Richmond. And with that, the engines of 36 trucks roar to life here at Richmond. Aiden Burkhart and Jay Jefferson on row 1. Brady Burkhart and Peter Onjak row 2. And a stacked field of the 36 best of the NSDCA rolling off here for the Crown Royal Truck Series AAA 300. All 36 going to make it on to the slightly banked track here at Richmond and is sure to be exciting. Aiden and Brady starting nose to tail on the bottom line for the Burkhart brothers, and all 36 trucks getting ready to head down this back straightaway. 80 laps is sure to put on a show, with the fuel window sitting about 55 to 60 laps. If there's an early caution around lap 15 to possibly lap 25, could we see someone try to one-stop it there and pit early? But here we go, coming down to take the green flag. Aiden Burkhart, Jay Jefferson lead us down. Green flag is in the air at the AAA 300. And it will be Aiden leading us down. Further back, Eli Bright making a move. Blake Maurice is going to make it 3 wide if we can get to him on the inside of Edson and Rowe. But up the track they go. Contact might have been between them. And now Colton Lane gets turned across the pack. He's going to come right back up. It looks like he keeps them out of trouble. Kev Shearer bouncing off of trucks. Lane is back into traffic. Look at these guys fighting. And there goes the 3. The 12's in the wall as well. Logan Cloud back across the track. And everyone's spinning around to make evasive maneuvers. Camden Lucas in it. Zachary DeLello. Nathan Stapleton and more. And a wild start to this race. 2 and 3 wide there. Couple cars bouncing off of each other. Colton Lane in the 3 going all the way down. DeLello getting himself out of the grass. There's Kukalon, Porta, Gibson. I think Luca got a piece of it. Kev Shearer for Impala. You see the lack of sponsorship on that truck. They're really struggling here. Thought Richmond would be a good race as it's not really a physical track. Got Mike Cook. Jose Perez might have gotten a piece of it. Logan Cloud and Colton Lane both did. Does not look like anyone's going to come in who doesn't have damage. It will be Colton Lane the first one in. Mike Cook is going to join him. Zachary DeLello is speeding to get back up onto speed. Mike Cook coming in. Kalen Nosler, AJ Jones, and Camden Luca all going to bring themselves in, but we already have that early crash here involving a handful of underdog teams, PNC and Impala, both being taken out in that. Evernham Shepard as well. Mike Cook, he hasn't had the best thing, but there's Kev Shearer's 07 with some tire marks on the side. Sebastian Kukalon has some damage to the side as well, but a lot of trucks damaged in this opening crash here on lap 1. And it was Colton Lane in the number 3. He gets hooked by Gatlin Downey off the corner in the super slow-mo here, and he's going to hit the wall pretty hard on that driver's side. He's just going to slide on down, gets turned, he straightens it back out, but can't get it off of the wall. Hard hit there. Now we're going to take it sped up further back from the same camera angle, and right into the wall he goes. He comes back up. He's going to hit Logan Cloud. Kukalon and Bright kind of get together. Kev Shearer is going to get a piece of this. DJ Gibson as well. A lot of trucks involved, but not much damage to a lot of them. And looking at Camden Luca, you see him in the 71 there. He's going to get spun down and hits the 80 and 02. But we will go ahead and take our first commercial break here at the AAA 300. Get you guys back to the action after this. Back live here at the AAA 300, and it is Aiden Burkhart on the front row with Jay Jefferson. They lead 1-2. Brady Burkhart third. Larry Hagan moved that 34 truck up to 4th. Blake Maurice into 5th, and Peter Onjak fell back to 6th. Ryan Butcher is in 7th. Edson 8th. Row 9th. Gatlin Downey moves himself up to 10th. Then you got Bright, Friesen, Bowers, Yepes, Helipad, Kraft, Foster, Cloud, Jackson, and Morris, your top 20. So coming on down here, Aiden Burkhart in this 00 looking to take some race lead here, get some laps led, get that bonus point for most laps led because he is also out behind of the cutoff. He is out 20 points behind the driver who is last in the cutoff. It looks like Carter Friesen coming down to take the green flag. Aiden Burkhart, Jay Jefferson lead us back down. Green flag's back in the air, and we're racing at Richmond. Blake already making a move. Butcher down there. Gatlin down. He's going to try to make it 3 wide on Rowe and Edson. And this is not what you want to see. 3 wide does not work here at Richmond, especially with how this track is. It's a bit more thin in the corners. And on the straightaway, it looks like there might have been... No, these guys are just slow back here. Yeah, it looks like they were just slow in the back, getting up to speed, but Jay Jefferson now trying to chase down Aiden. You got Blake on the inside of Larry Hagan. Hagan trying to fight his way up here in this number 34. The outside line can work, but not like that. He really walks it up the track. Now the front kind of stacks back up. Here comes Jay Jefferson, Burkhart, and Maurice. Look at all of the Shade Burkhart trucks except Matthew Eves up here in the top 4, and it's going to be Jay Jefferson. Give him the race lead at the track. He calls home here on the schedule with his 2 wins. Jay Jefferson takes the race lead. Now Burkhart brothers battle for second. Brady looks like he's trying to take it. You got Gatlin Downey, Eli Bright moving up. Look at Onjado. They are really struggling monetarily right now. Onjak took a great finish at the South Boston race, and now Onjak and Bowers right there inside the top 10 trying to get themselves some upgrade points. Side by side for second is Brady and Aiden as Jay Jefferson now starting to pull away. Can Jay go 2 in a row this week? That would be interesting. Gatlin Downey in this 19, Eli Bright in the 28, both up here inside the top 10. Great runs for them today. And let's talk about Gatlin real quick. Red Bull Motorsports, in general, they are losing their big sponsor, Red Bull. They are not coming back to the team next season. But now Gatlin, Wendy's has been really backing him, and with this performance today, we might be seeing more from this 19 driver. He has been great this season. Gatlin is only 13th in points in his rookie year in the Crown Royal Truck Series. No wins, but a great resume of 2 top 10s already in the first 7 races. Not too shabby for a rookie on a team that's really struggling, and especially with the Chevy power. As he moves into third around Aiden Burkhart, Gatlin and this 19 team could be a shock winner here today, but Eli Bright back in 5th. Coors Light announced publicly that they do not support this 28 driver. Riley Spurley was supposed to be in the truck this season. He was injured in preseason testing at Indianapolis, so he has to sit out for most of the season, but Coors Light has stated if Eli does not pick up the pace, they want him out by the chase beginning. They want Spurley in this 28 truck. Battle for second, Gatlin Downey moving himself up there. And he's going to take the spot away from Brady. So a great run today by Gatlin. Aiden's going to move into third. And there's Eli Bright moving to fourth. But again, Eli, he's kind of in a bad seat, and so is Jay Jefferson. Jay wants Eli to at least get some experience this season, and no matter what, Eli is dropping back to the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Riley Spurley was guaranteed the ride. That was the deal they had. Alexander Rowe coming off of pit road. It looks like he has a problem in the 63, and now he's going to come back up into traffic, but Fallout Racing, that costs some big time. There's Bob Helipad in the 65. He's moving inside the top 10. But Eli Bright, it's going to be interesting to see. This might put some pressure on him to perform because this 28 truck, he's now in the top 4. But Eli Bright sits 20th in points with 1 top 10 this season. It could be interesting to see if Coors Light will drop him entirely before the season ends. Carson Bowers now going to make a move. Contact further back between Rowe and Cloud. You saw them at the edge of the screen kind of get together. Replay will go up on the screen right there. There you see Casey Mears now working to the inside of Tim Foster. Mears just trying to race after yesterday at South Boston, failing to do very well. There's Colton Lane. He's on the bottom now. These guys yesterday, Crown Royal Truck Series qualifying was only about 2 hours before the actual race, the Mountain Dew Custom Series race. So they all got on a couple helicopters together, flew down to South Boston, ran there. Peter Onchak brought home a P5 in the South Boston race. Now he's looking for a top 5 here. Down to the inside of Eli Bright. That is for the 4th spot. Give it to Peter. He's looking for the run. And Carson Bowers as well. Brady Burkhart gets turned by Larry Hagan into Logan Bradley. Diego Yepes is in it. Tim Foster as well. The big 3 all are involved in crashes here. And Brady gets hit by Camden Luca. Kev Shearer's in it. Diego Yepes. This shakes up the whole championship hunt today. Brady's truck over. Diego Yepes done. Zachary DeLello's in it. Where's Paul Jackson? Paul made it through, and Brandon made it through. So that's 2 championship contenders right there. But a heavy crash right away. 18 of 80 through. Jay Jefferson, the race leader as they run right now. And they might be heading down to pit road. That's where Jay's going. He's going on the apron. So maybe these guys are coming down to pit road. We might be able to see some pit stops. And that we will. Pit road getting busy down here, and it looks like the majority of the field is going to come on down. But Aiden Burkhart, Larry Hagan, Brandon Morris, not Carter Friesen, Jacob Edson, Eves, Jackson, a lot of trucks playing strategy here, staying out. But as they come down, we're going to take a look at Jay Jefferson in this Cobalt 48 as he comes down to the attention of his crew. There you see Burkhart, Hagan, Morris, Edson. DeLello stays out as well. DeLello's not on the lead, or is on the lead lap, I should say. But Jay Jefferson, they're going 2 tires on there, 2 rights. Now going to the left side, they're doing 4 tires on that one, and he's getting ready to go on back out. As Jay Jefferson, no, Yepes will beat him out. Stapleton beats him out, actually. I think those guys weren't there, but Jay Jefferson leads. Onjak second. Butcher, it looks like Bright might have beat Gatlin Downey. We'll have to see how the pit road actually shakes up. There'll be a graphic on your screen there. But Aiden Burkhart, Larry Hagan, Brandon Morris stay out. Rose coming back in. He is a lap truck. Colton Lane just came in, and he's a lap down. Edson, Eves, Jackson, and DeLello all stay out. That is going to shake things up. Diego Yepes, I believe, is he a lap down? Kev Shearer is out of the race. Yes. Kev Shearer, Tim Foster, Brady Burkhart all out of the race, so that's another heartbreak for Tim Foster. Angiato, they have one good race, they have good trucks up front, and they still get one destroyed. But speaking of Angiato, there's Peter Onjak. You got Carson Bowers up here. Casey Mears in the 04 is moving his way towards the front, which is great for them. But you also see Bob Helipad in the 65. He's going to be lining up top 15, and a lot more trucks. So strategy played here early. Let's go ahead, take a look and see how we got this big crash. Brady Burkhart and Diego Yepes both taken out of this race. What it looks like to me here is Larry Hagan is actually the one that turns Brady around, and that right there, 34 gives him a bump, spins Brady into the wall. You see Dusty Neal hit him, but Diego Yepes comes flying in. You're also going to see Camden Luca in that 71. He's just going to come in and end the 99, and a heavy hit for them. Kev Shearer, Kalen Nosler as well, so that's 3 underfunded teams having struggles. Now we'll take a slow-mo of this, dissect it a little bit more, but Hagan's just on that back bumper, gets on his left quarter panel, and turns that 99 around. You see Colton Lane, he's coming back off of pit road. Blake Maurice is just going to barely miss it, but Brady goes up. He's going to back it into the wall slightly. Now Dusty Neal turns down. He's going to get hit in the passenger side. Edson, what a save right here. Yepes has no grip, and he drives right into the back, or into the side of the 99. Tim Foster's also going to get a piece of that. That's going to be the end of his day. Jose Perez, I believe, just sneaks through, but Diego tries to get through. Now Nathan Stapleton's going to come up. He thought that the 99 was going to go down. He goes up, and he hits him as well. That's going to stack up the outside, and then you'll see Camden Luke in that 71 pile it on in with Zachary DeLello. Going to stay just out of it. Great break by DeLello there, and you also see Kev Shearer and Kalen Nosler get a piece of that. Now the visor cam this week is on board Diego Yepes, and we will take a look at this right into the side of Brady. Heavy hit, but he's going to be able to get through it. We're also going to take a look here on board the bumper cam on Zachary DeLello as he makes it through this. Camden Luca, you're just going to see he kind of accelerates to get through it. DeLello slows down, sees kind of part, he gets on through cleanly. But we'll take you guys to the second commercial break of the AAA 300 here at Richmond. Bring you guys back after this. Lights on the pace truck go out that time by, and it is Aiden Burkhart right now in the race lead with Larry Hagan in second. Brandon Morris third, lap truck Colton Lane up here, but Jacob Edson fourth, Matthew Eves fifth, Paul Jackson sixth, Zachary DeLello seventh. Those are the drivers who stayed out. Diego Yepes, he is 29th, 1 lap down, but here are the drivers who are on fresh tires. Jay Jefferson sits 8th, Peter Onjek 9th, and Ryan Butcher in P10. 11th Downey, 12th Bright, 13th Bowers, 14th Helipad, 15th Maurice, 16th Mears, 17th Cloud, 18th is the 94 of Dusty Neal, 19th Carter Freeze, and 20th Nicholas Wade. So we're getting ready to go back racing. The top 7 cars stayed out under that caution, so they are on now 20 lap old tires compared to the drivers who are on newer tires. Now, Aiden Burkhart, Larry Hagan, they're up front. Maybe Larry's trying to take out both Burkharts. Maybe Aiden will get Larry back for dumping Brady. Here we go to the green flag, and we're back racing at Richmond. Matthew Eves making a move. This 83 team, it's been a struggle all the time. Diego Yepes on the bottom. Peter Onjak's trying to get down there, but Diego's going to block him. DeLello slows up Jefferson. Now these guys are all getting stuck up behind the slower cars, the damaged cars, and Diego not making many friends there. He doesn't have much room to go. Peter's going to send him. DeLello and Jefferson side by side. Onjak's going to go around in front of the field. He saves it. Nice save. Caution is out. What a chaotic start. And where did Morris come from? They're racing back to the line. Brandon Morris is going for the race lead. He's going to take it away from Burkhart and give the race lead. Morris is going to lead us back to the line, and Morris picks up a lap lead. Wow, what a race to the finish there. Aiden Burkhart, Larry Hagan back to third. Eves is up to fourth, but Peter Onjak might not be too happy now with Diego Yepes. Yepes was just blocking the whole field. It's not like Diego could have gone anywhere else, to be fair, but really those two just get together, and it was just chaos from there. So we'll check and see. Maybe these guys will hit pit road now. It'd be smart for them to probably do so. Pick up those fresh tires now, and it looks like they're going down on the pit road. Aiden and Brandon not really having a fun time there trying to decide who gets on first, but I guess Aiden's going to be the one getting on first. A little unfair there to those guys. Hagan is in, and Jefferson's in, and it looks like everyone else coming to top off except the Onjado duo, Onjak and Bowers, want to lead this race down. You got Blake Maurice, and forgive me for the terrible camera angles. All of Onjado stays out, so that might have been a whole pit call right there. Blake Maurice, Bob Helipad, Casey Mears, Logan Cloud, Nicholas Wade, Jose Perez, Carter Friesen, DJ Gibson, Kraft, Stapleton, Rowe, they all stay out. So that'll actually be a buffer this time, but that'll still put Lane and Yepes in front of Onjak. Peter a bit upset on the radio with Diego, saying that's why he isn't a champion. But nonetheless, Diego's still doing very good this season. This will most likely give Diego the championship lead, unless Paul Jackson or Brandon Morris can really get up there and shake things up. But Brandon's a full race behind, so is Paul Jackson at the moment. Nathan Stapleton looks like he'll bring it on down. Colton Lane's going to bring it on down. Yepes stays out, so he's really not making any friends out there on track right now. A lot of underdogs up front. Peter Onjak was the one that went around. Aiden's doing his thing. But a good amount of trucks stay out, good amount come in. But it was Peter Onjak in his 44 truck going around early on. But it wasn't really going around. It was just the 16 kind of pushing that 44 in and saving him in the power slide. And you see the 65 gets a little sideways. Also Eli Bright. But what started this was Yepes really stacking up the field. Jefferson making it 3 wide on DeLello. And then Jefferson kind of goes up into DeLello, bounces back down into Peter. And again, he's going to power slide it. So nice save by him. Nice car control by the 44. And a little bit of a thank you from Ryan Butcher for saving that 44. As you see, kind of use the front bumper of him. Might have to give him a little pat on the back for that one. But Peter in that power slide. We're going to go on board with Bob Helipad, who is behind this. He also got sideways on the bumper cam here on this number 65. But Eli Bright also took some major evasive maneuvers. You see him in the 28. He dives it down to the inside into the grass to get through it. Slides on through. But we will go ahead, take you guys to commercial break here in the third caution of the AAA 300. Back live here under caution at the AAA 300 at the Richmond Raceway. And we are back a little prematurely, just here to talk about what we're looking at right now. Peter Onjak on worn tires since he spun that car. He's right now the race leader still, with Carson Bowers his teammate in P2. Blake Murray sits third. He is right now 10th in points with 1 win. That would be the wild card spot. Looking at the rest of these drivers, Peter Onjak and Carson Bowers. Bowers 16th in points, Peter Onjak 17th in points. Dib Foster was 12th in points, and Exide has a very good sponsorship deal with that team if they can get him into the chase. So that might be incentive for them, but after that crash, that could cost them a lot. So Onjado trying to change the negatives of this race, of Foster spinning with the positives of maybe a 1-2, maybe a sweep in the top 5 as Casey Mears sits 7th. But Onjado looking very strong. Casey Mears right now, yesterday he was crashed out in the South Boston race. Tonight he is here, P7. Great run so far. He started in the back, has moved his way towards the front. But let's talk about Jose Perez. He had to face off with Jay Jefferson last week at Chicagoland, and Jay complimented him after the race. Jose going to victory lane and talking a little bit with Jay, and it seems like there could be some interest in there. Gatlin Downey especially was talked to with Jay Jefferson. There was a phone call on Monday evening after the race, and a bit of talking between them. So 2 Dodge teams, we could be seeing something in the works right there. But as we come around, hopefully the pace car will put its lights out and we'll get the time to 1 to go. But Peter Onjak in the Hershey's number 44, he's looking out for the race lead, as we are going to be 1 lap to green. Bob Helipad, talk about him real quick. He drove for Curtis Racing earlier this season in the number 60, failed to qualify, I believe, no races for the 60 car. Now he's picked up by Fallout Racing to drive a handful of truck starts. He's up here in 4th. Great run today for him. And Logan Cloud in 5th, Nicholas Wade 6th. Great jobs for them. Carter Friesen 8th in points, a very big underdog. We didn't think he'd be up here inside the top 10 in points and running top 10 most weeks. He sits up there in the 8th position. And further back, DJ Gibson. You also got Alex Kraft in the top 13. Remember, Kraft, there has been very little races that this team has even finished the race. They have 1 top 10 with Alex Kraft. That was at Sonoma, I should say. Coming around, Peter Onjak, Carson Bowers, the Onjado duo starting to lead us down. It's Maurice Helipad 3rd and 4th. Coming on down, green flag is in the air. We're back racing at Richmond. Not even halfway through this event, and we've already had 3 cautions. Let's hope these guys keep it clean this time, because they are really getting aggressive on the short tracks here. There's AJ Jones in that 88. He is on the lead lap after that spin earlier. He's back up in the fight. Jay Jefferson now dives right to the inside of Jose Perez. Cloud's going to walk it up the track, but here comes Jay Jefferson. Now he's a man on a mission. Remember, he loves Richmond. He knows how to get it done here. Now to the inside of Casey Mears. That's for P8, as he's already up 2 spots since the green flag. And now battle for 4th, Nicholas Wade against Bob Helipad. Helipad has not ran a truck. This is his first career start, and it's doing very well. Logan Cloud ducks down onto pit road. Might be strategy, might be something amiss on the 92. 3 wide further back, Nosler, Neal, and Burkhart. There's Larry Hagan, as now Diego Yepes is trying his best to stay out of anyone's way at this point, which is just good enough for him. Go up to the outside. That's usually where the drivers want you to be. But now Peter Onjak trying to pull away. A great run. Let's just talk about Onjado. It's been a struggling season. Even if they don't come away with a win here, this is showing that they have the pace, they have the speed, and they have the talent. Peter has not won in 3 seasons. It's been a heartbreaking career for this 44 ever since the beginning of season number 2. And right now Onjado really struggling, a struggling team. First and second as they run with Casey Mears still inside the top 10. Tim Foster out is going to take a big monetary hit, but a first and second place finish could award them over $400 grand. And that would definitely offset the costs of a damaged 40. Blake Maurice sits third for Burkhart. For the old Burkhart Maurice, now Shade Burkhart Racing. It'll be a bit longer for me to start calling it that right away, but Blake Maurice losing ownership in that team has pushed him into retirement. He will be dropping out of the series at the end of the season. Your defending Crown Royal Truck Series champion, he's running right now in 3rd. Nicholas Wade in 4th in that 24. Great run for Red Bull, even though he will be retiring at the end of the season as well. Now he's going back, but further back, Alexander Rowe, a lap truck. He's making some moves on Carter Friesen. You got Ryan Butcher following Jay Jefferson up through. Butcher also came down, took some tires. There's Gatlin Downey, Larry Hagan, Eli Bright. These were the 3 we were talking about inside the top 10 before all this chaos occurred. And now as we look at this, the field kind of starting to spread out up front, a bit more chaotic in the back, but as soon as they spread out, we should be able to see some green flag racing here. But Larry Hagan now down on the inside of Gatlin Downey. That is for, I believe, the 9th position. Great run for all of these drivers, and Sebastian Kukulon as well in this 12 team. Red Bull, a longtime sponsor of his, leaving. Has to be hurting for him. He'll have to find a new one. Alex Kraft, AJ Jones up there. You got Jacob Edson in this 10. Casey Mears, it looks like he's starting to fall back. Of course, this is his first Onjado truck start, so him and his crew chief not really meshing that well as of now. AJ Jones going to make the move, sets it up, and passes his ex-driver, Alex Kraft. Still a bit of soreness between Jones Racing Inc. and Alex Kraft, especially after last season and even after last week when Porta and Kraft got together. Aiden Burkhart in that 00. He's looking down to the inside on Jacob Edson right now. You got Matthew Eves working on Casey Mears. Jose Perez has really dropped to the back. Zachary DeLello goes wide. There's Brandon Morris, Paul Jackson. Right now, all of the top 5 in points are all outside of the top 20. Brandon Morris right now the highest running driver. He moves into the 21st position. Paul Jackson 24th. Zachary DeLello 26th. Yepes 27th. But as we run, Carson Bowers has taken the race lead, so a nice run there for Bowers. Of course, he's your Season 2 Mountain Dew Custom Series champion. All 3 Mountain Dew Custom Series champions right now in the Crown Royal Truck Series on Onjado. That's your 3 full-time drivers of Onjak, Bowers, and Foster. But as they run, this could be a great points day for drivers, especially, where is he? Jay Jefferson in 5th. Jay sits 48 points out of the points lead with Diego Yepes. But with this race, this could pick him up a good amount. If he can win, like he's done so much at Richmond before, Ryan Butcher ducking to the inside. But if Jay can win this weekend, this would be big for him in the points swing. And this is big for a lot of drivers. This could bring that cutoff battle right back close again. Larry Hagan in that 34. He's diving down to the inside. Hagan with Jones Racing Inc. is only 28th in points, 0 top 5, 0 top 10s. And right now this 34 team is running inside the top 10. Nicholas Wade walks it up the track. Ryan Butcher, we haven't talked about him, but he has some speed in this Butcher Gatorade Motorsports number 16 today, as we're watching a battle for the lead up here between Onjak and Bowers. That was DJ Gibson on pit road, but Onjado now starting to go side by side for position here, first and second, as we're coming down to just about 30 laps to go in a few laps. This race has gone on pretty long with the starting cautions, but now we're starting to clear it out. We'll get a flyby off the corner. Onjak and Bowers pulling away. The field kind of staying nice and spread out. Everyone got apart. You don't really see that often in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Short track racing is usually just a crash fest with these guys, but right now, ever since that last caution, we're staying clean, we're staying green as they go down the back straightaway. Now Ryan Butcher in this Butcher Gatorade Motorsports 16, he is having a heartbreaking season. 21st in points. He would have to gain a couple spots and then win a race to make the championship, but remember, he did that last season. He won, I believe it was Watkins Glen, or not Watkins Glen, he won a race. We'll go with that. But Ryan Butcher in the 16, he's down on the inside of Bob Helipad. That is going to be for, I believe, the 4th position, and that is going to give him that spot. If Ryan can win, he'll do just what he did last season, grab a wild card spot and make his way into the championship hunt. Right now, Ryan in the 16. He's moving on it. He's moving his way towards the front. He's up to 4th. Jay Jefferson now working on Bob Helipad for 5th. Butcher could make a move on Blake Maurice here in a little bit. Maybe right here into this corner as he goes for the dive almost into the back of the 11. But Butcher on fresher tires. He could be a threat coming to the end. He's going to make some contact with Blake coming off of the corner. Bit of rough racing up there. But you see Peter Onjak. He now has to dive around Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton maybe giving him a little bit more room because Onjak helped get him a sponsorship deal with Preferred Freezer Services, which will be running in a few weeks on that number 80. But Peter out in front. A great performance today for Angiato. Both of these drivers seated inside the top 20, not in the top 10, but again, a win. If you're inside the top 20 and you win a race, you will go ahead and take a wild card spot. There are 2 wild card spots for drivers who won in 9th to 20th in points. So that's 12 spots for 2 drivers to get a win in that area. Right now, Peter Onjak in this 44 team, he's out in front. The question is, though, we still have 27 to go. It's been about 27 laps since these guys have pitted. And to be fair, when everyone pitted, none of them would have been able to make it to the end without saving. So Peter Onjak, is he pushing it? Is he saving it? We don't know. Last week at Chicagoland, the fuel bit him at the end. He was starting to run out. Also had some technical problems in that 44, as well as a few other drivers who ran out of gas in those closing laps. But Peter Onjak, he's taken some laps led. If he could get at least a few bonus points, could be able to point his way in or at least close that gap. Right now, the driver in the cutoff is running, I believe, yes, in the 7th position. That's Carter Friesen. He's 8th in points. But DJ Gibson having a poor day as well. That should drop him behind Carter Friesen, maybe even behind Matty Porta. But Porta is also having a bad day. Taking a look at this top 10 in points as they entered, Diego Yepes, Brady Burkhart, Zachary DeLello, Paul Jackson, and Brandon Morris, all just around the 20th to 25th range or worse. And then Jay Jefferson, Carter Friesen, and Blake Maurice, they are all just outside the top 10 in points, or top 8 in points. They are right now having a great day with DJ Gibson, Matty Porta. They're having a pretty bad day. Jose Perez doesn't count for a championship hunt, but Tib Foster is well in the back. Jacob Edson, Aiden Burkhart's near the back. So Bowers, Onjak, and Gatlin Downey, where they're running right now, if this race would end right now, but all of those guys, caution is out. We are now have another caution, I believe. Carson Bowers is slow on the apron. This could be heartbreak for Angiato, and that could be a mechanical failure on the 25. Dirt is kicked up along the track. Nathan Stapleton, his truck is blowing up. He has some damage to the front of that. So Stapleton, it looks like a lap truck got dumped. But Carson Bowers down pit road. Let's hope that it's not big. It's not a big problem for the 25 team. There's Stapleton blowing up. But now this is where you see what happens. Will you save fuel for these final 20 laps that we'll have probably at green flag? Do you come down, take the fuel, play it safe, and risk losing this race? This is going to be the interesting thing. Peter Onjak in the 44 team, they are going to stay out. Ryan Butcher stays out. Blake Maurice in the 11 will be the first one in for it. Nicholas Wade dives down as well. What are we going to see in terms of strategy? A lot of drivers staying out. Jose Perez ducks in. Alex Kraft, he's going to bring that 7 in for Sauber. And the rest of the field staying out. So this could be something very big. Carson Bowers, this is not going to be good for Angiato. They have taken that truck, I believe, behind the wall. I do not see him on track. I do not see him anywhere. So, oh no, Bowers, they repaired the truck. He's going to be a lap down, but he's coming back out. That's at least something good for Angiato, but that is, I believe, 3 of the last 4 races that the 25 team has had a mechanical problem. So really, Bowers not having the best weekend so far. However, maybe with those new tires, he could race his way up to the front, pull around some people, maybe get his lap back that way, but I don't think that'll happen. Now, I don't know what happened. It must have been to Nathan Stapleton. He was the one blowing up with damage. But we'll go ahead and take a look at that. And helipad was just real wide down in turn number 3. Goes up the track. Nicholas Wade looks like he kind of finishes him off there. Helipad bounces off the wall. Stapleton runs right into the side of him, so that's going to be heavy damage to that 65. But Wade and helipad just kind of converged together. They both ran it very wide out of turn 3 and 4. And helipad's just going to kind of slide up. He's going to back it into the outside wall, spins it around, and Nathan Stapleton will hit him. So 4 cautions down, and we're inside 20 laps to go for this restart. We'll bring you guys back to the action for the final few laps in the AAA 300. Coming down back live here at the AAA 300 at Richmond Raceway. We are under the 1 to go before we go back racing. This is the scenario right now with 17 to go next time by. Peter Onjak's last pit stop, lap 18. So that is roughly about 50 laps ago. Ryan Butcher, Jay Jefferson, Larry Hagan last pitted on lap 25. That was for 4 tires. Carter Friesen stayed out at that time. He came down on lap 18. That's what your top 5 is looking at. Downey, Aiden Burkhart, Eli Bright, AJ Jones, and Bob Helipad, your top 10. This is going to be a chaotic start. There are only 24 cars on the lead lap. Peter Onjak trying to hang on, at least stay up front, but coming down to take the green flag. Onjak leads us back around. Green flag is back in the air here at Richmond. Jay Jefferson, you can't count him out. Downey's going to make it 3 wide with Rowe. Jefferson on the inside. He's going to have Larry Hagan pushing him. Hagan is looking for that first career win in the NSDCA. Downey on the inside of Friesen. That's the battle for the 5th spot. Not going to happen. Now Butcher, he's trying to take this season, turn it around. Hagan, Butcher, and Onjak all have had horrible seasons. Hagan into the back of Jay Jefferson. All of these drivers have been in some chaos in their careers. Carter Friesen has not won since season 1. Neither has Peter Onjak. Ryan Butcher won a race last season. Jay Jefferson won last week. Larry Hagan has never won. These drivers are looking for it. Alexander Rowe, a lap truck, is going to be battling right in here. Gatlin Downey never has won in the Crown Royal Truck Series or in the NSDCA. Caution is back out. Peter Onjak is leading us back around still. He's just hoping these laps tick away. It looks like Diego Yepes, Jose Perez ducks down pit road. Alex Kraft as well. So that's going to be yet another race. Sauber is involved in a crash. But Peter Onjak, he's just hoping and praying. If he has to pit soon, it's going to be bad. But these guys are all trying to coast and save some fuel. Onjak in this 44, the Hershey's 44. It looks like he's on the apron. He has to come in. It's too late in the race to come on to make it to the end, and he's going to have to play it safe, and he's going to come down pit road. Carter Friesen as well. So that's going to be a sad end of the day. Casey Mears as well. So you see Onjato is just destroyed in that, and Carson Bauer sits 26. Diego Yepes with more damage, but Onjak down pit road. You know he has to be beating himself up in the truck. That's going to be 2 weeks in a row. Fuel will screw him. But still, all these drivers that are left on track, do they have enough fuel to make it to the end? If I was Peter, yes, take those 4 tires. Get that fuel in the car. Get that better run, because if there's another caution, we might see these guys run out of fuel. 2 tires for Peter Onjak only. Yepes comes back out. Friesen as well. Mears as well. Friesen is 8th in points. I don't think he wants to run out of gas over here and get mauled by the pack. And Alexander Rowe, he is going to take a courtesy jump out of line. It looks like that'll set us up so no lap trucks will be in this front pack. Matthew Eves, AJ Jones, are they coming down as well? I don't think so. Carson Bowers is going to come back down, so that 25 team is just going to play it safe than sorry, I guess, for Onjato, all of them coming on down. But Carson, again, that's a heartbreaking season so far for him. He's had such good runs and has just been cost by his trucks. But Peter Onjak in this 44 is further back here. Diego Yepes was the problem, but it's Ryan Butcher, Jay Jefferson, Larry Hagan, Gatlin Downey, and Aiden Burkhart, your top 5 here at Richmond. And Diego Yepes, he's in the back here, just damaged up. It's been beat up all day, and DJ Gibson is going to be the one basically to finish him off in this race. He's going to finish the race, hopefully, but he hits Alex Kraft, Jose Perez. On board on the visor came with the 77. Diego, it's been a rough evening for him, been crashed out pretty much since the beginning, and he goes around on the backstretch collecting a few more trucks in his wake. So we're going to be within 10 laps to go when we go back green. Let's see what'll happen. Diego Yepes, the next caution here at the AAA 300. So it looks like we'll be going back green with 11 laps to go. We said the fuel window was 55 to 60 laps. All these drivers that you see up in front either pitted on lap 18 or lap 25. Most of the drivers up front, I should say, are pitted on lap 25. That would mean these guys could make it to the end barely. These guys will barely make it to the end. They better have been saving, because this could now come down to a fuel strategy race. Peter Onjak and those guys, they would have had to save 7 laps. That's a lot to ask for. But Peter now 20th spot. He has tires. If this race goes to the end, he could be able to move up maybe into the top 10. There's no way he's going to win this race in just 11 green flag laps. But if we have another caution and some drivers think that they can't make it to the end either, that could make for an interesting battle. But we will have 11 laps to go. Ryan Butcher in the race lead. He has not won for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports this season. The team has not won since his last career win, and in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, they are absolutely horrible. Jay Jefferson looking to go 2 in a row this season. Larry Hagan, Gatlin Downey looking for their first career wins. Got Eli Bright back there. Brandon Morris, Matthew Eves. Green flag for 11 laps left in the AAA 300. Jefferson to the inside. And down into turn number 1, it's Jay Jefferson in the 48. Larry Hagan in the 34 is now going to be on the back bumper of him. They push past Ryan Butcher and give the race lead to Jay Jefferson. They're all battling further back. Do they make it out of the corner is the question. Yes, they do. Peter Onjak, he's actually a bit slower, but he might have just been held up by Diego Yepes. Casey Mears is going to dive to the inside of Friesen further back. And here they go. Hagan's up here. Eli Bright in the 28. He's trying to prove to Coors Light that he should stay in this ride. And now he's down on the inside. Battle for the 4th position. Butcher's going to get lost. Jefferson out in front. You got the 34 right there as well. There's Gatlin Downey 6. Matthew Eves, where did he come from? AJ Jones. Sebastian Kukalon in the top 10. The rest of the field running on by. Peter Onjak now just stuck in the traffic in the back here, but up front, Brandon Morris makes a dive. Back up front, Larry Hagan being pushed to the 2nd position by Eli Bright. Eli now to the inside of Ryan Butcher. We have 9 to go, 8 to go next time by. This race is about to get crazy. Butcher with the crossover down to the inside. They're trying to catch Jefferson. Jefferson runs very wide. All these drivers have very old tires. They're over 50 laps old as they run. Gatlin Downey up here. Look at AJ Jones. Can he go up here and try to win this race? Butcher takes the lead right back. Here comes Eli Bright in the 28. He's looking for that first career win in the Crown Royal Truck Series. You got Gatlin Downey further back with AJ Jones pushing him, but Butcher takes the race lead. Hagan now starting to drop back. Jefferson in 3rd. He has never lost at Richmond. Will he lose it today? Now Eli Bright in the 28. Maybe he could be the new one for Texas Star Racing to win at Richmond. But Butcher in the race lead. Bright in 2nd. Jefferson 3rd. Downey now up to 4th. AJ Jones is throwing that 88 into 5th. Or at least going for the 5th spot. Eli Bright is on the back of Butcher, but he just does not have the experience maybe to believe in himself to throw it in. Downey now all over the back of Jefferson. Jefferson trying to block. Look at this pack of trucks right here. Peter Onjak up to the 17th position. He's trying to move on up. You got Matthew Eves in that 83. No sponsorship barely on that 83. He's moving himself into 6th. Look at Brandon Morris up here. He's moving for 7th, but Eli Bright is trying to chase down Ryan Butcher. With all these guys pushing, will they push too hard and run out of fuel? That is the question right here. A caution will probably end this race. Eli Bright now to the inside of Butcher, and a caution will end this race within 5 to go. Bright looks for the race lead. He's diving to the inside of Ryan Butcher, trying to prove to Coors Light, to Texas Star Racing, to everyone in the garage that he deserves this ride, and he's on the inside going for the race lead in the closing laps. Downey slow. Downey, is he out of fuel? No, I don't think so. Eli Bright takes the race lead away from Butcher down the front straightaway, launches away. Look at AJ Jones in this 88. Brandon Morris, he's battling in the top 5 for points. Could he move himself into a points-paying position? Bob Helipad was down pit road, ran out of fuel. This race just got chaotic now. 3 wide, Hagan and Jefferson. They're going to be 4 wide heading into the corner as Helipad merges up. They're going to crash. Jefferson's in the wall. Hagan's in the wall. Onjak might have gotten picked. No, Maurice gets it, and Eli Bright might have just stolen this race win. They gotta coast it around for 3 more laps. Jefferson in the wall. Chaos down here. Friesen's in it. Yepes in it again. Jackson. They wreck coming out of the corner. Bob Helipad makes a rookie mistake. Peter Onjak might have just come away with a 7th place finish. But remember, do these guys have enough fuel to clutch and coast to the end? Eli Bright, though, he has to trying to prove to everyone that he deserves this ride. If the fuel lasts, he wins the race. Ryan Butcher comes up short. Talking about Eli, though, this 28 team is 20th in points with a win that would put him in a wild card spot for the chase for the championship. Ryan Butcher, Gatlin Downey, AJ Jones, what a great run up to 4th. Brandon Morris 5th. Matthew Eves is actually a lap down, so Aiden Burkhart 6th. Peter Onjak fights his way to 7th. That's a great points day for him. Kukalon 8th. 9th will be Zachary DeLello. 10th, Jacob Edson. 11th, Kalen Nosler. 12th, Dusty Neal. 13th, Mike Cook. 14th, now Larry Hagan. 15th, Maurice. 16th, Jackson. 17th, Wade. 18th, Friesen. 19th, Jay Jefferson. 20th, Matty Porta. That's all the trucks on the lead lap. Casey Mears is now out of the race. We'll get a check and look at the caution after these guys cross the line, but we have one lap to go. Will anyone run out of fuel to pick up spots? The only driver we know for certain that should be clear is Peter Onjak and the rest of those guys that pitted under that caution. But the question is, will the fuel last? One lap to go. Eli Bright is praying for a miracle. This driver, he came so close to multiple wins last season in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, driving the number 82 and the number 43 in a joint effort between Monster Motorsports and Texas Star Racing. With Riley Spurley being injured, Jay Jefferson had to move someone into this 28 truck to please Coors Light, and it was Eli Bright, that rookie, the rookie sensation last season, who just came up short multiple times. Eli, in just his 10th Crown Royal Truck Series start, he's coming on through. Ryan Butcher came up so close, but he lost it 2 laps early. Gatlin Downey, a career-high 3rd place finish. A.J. Jones, a career-best 4th place finish. But Eli Bright and Texas Star Racing will sweep all 3 Richmond races in the history of the NSDCA, but it's with a new driver. Eli Bright wins the AAA 300. What a performance. Coors Light is going to have to think about this. They said they wanted Spurley in the truck for the remainder of the season after the chase. But now Eli Bright might have just made the chase with this win. What a run. He gets around Ryan Butcher right at the end. Gatlin Downey, a great finish. Brandon Morris could catapult himself into a battle for the regular season championship now. Aiden Burkhart's going to move up in points, as well as Peter Onjak. That's a good points day for him. It's not that good for Carson Bowers. Casey Mears takes the truck behind the wall, but a lot of drivers, just chaos. A lot of chaos in this one. Zachary DeLello further back. DeLello will come home 9th, though, so that should save him in points, possibly put him with a battle against Yepes and Burkhart. That really brings him down. But Eli Bright, your race winner here at Richmond for the AAA 300. It was a great race, but we'll go ahead and take you guys to a quick replay of what happened here at the end to bring out the caution and end the AAA 300. And it was Bob Helipad. Came back up on track after pit road, and he hits Larry Hagan. Cloud's in it. Jefferson's in it. Heartbreaking day for Jefferson. And a lot of trucks kind of just pile in at random moments. You got Blake Maurice. He's going to get kind of hooked by Dusty Neal. As Neal came down the track, Blake keeps it out of the wall, locks it up. But a wider angle shot of this shows everyone just kind of crashing, spinning around. Chaos here at the end. Casey Mears is going to hit the end of the pit wall. That's why his 04 will not finish the race. A couple people pile into him. But with that, the AAA 300 will come to a close. Eli Bright throws a wrench into the entire championship now with that win, and the championship is sure to look closer with both Yepes and Burkhart having horrible days. Paul Jackson having a bad day, but DeLello, Morris having great days. Jefferson will have some bonus points, but might lose some stuff. DJ Gibson as well. Carter Friesen was involved in that last part. Matty Porta, poor performance. Blake Maurice is going to pick up some spots. Jose Perez, though he's not for the chase, still a great day for him. Tib Foster out of it, but look at these guys just inside the top 20 coming in. Gatlin Downey, Aiden Burkhart, Peter Onjak, Sebastian Kukalon, Eli Bright, Ryan Butcher. They were all back there fighting for those wild card spots. Eli's going to take one, but the rest of these drivers now starting to move up and creep closer to that cutoff. Thank you guys so much for watching the Crown Royal Truck Series at the Richmond Raceway for the AAA 300. Next week will be the solo week for the Crown Royal Truck Series. We head to Pocono, the Tricky Triangle, for some nice racing there. We had a great run last season with Jacob Edson winning that race. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.